Lesson 56, Sound and Light. Hello and welcome to this lesson. Today, we are going to talk about sound and light, the words we use to describe what we hear and see. We will look at general terms for sound, specific sound words and what makes them, adjectives for darkness, and types of light. This is a very descriptive topic that will help you express your sensory experiences more vividly. So, let us get started. General words to describe sound. First, let us look at some general words to describe sound. I could hear the sound of voices or music coming from the next room. This is a neutral word. The noise of the traffic here is pretty bad. Noise refers to loud, unpleasant sounds. The children are making a terrible racket upstairs. Racket means very loud, unbearable noise, often of human activity, and it is informal. Sound and noise can both be countable or uncountable. When they are of short duration or refer to different sounds or noises, they are countable. For example, I heard some strange sounds/noises in the night. When they mean a lot of continual or continuous sounds, they are uncountable. For example, I wish the children would not make so much noise when I am working. And the sound of the sea is very relaxing here, it is uncountable. Sound words and things that typically make them. Now, let us look at specific sound words and the things that typically make them. All the words in this section can be used as nouns or verbs. Bang, for example, a door closing in the wind or a balloon bursting. Chime, for example, a big public clock on a building sounding the hour. Clang, for example, a big bell ringing or a hollow metal object being struck. Clatter, for example, a metal pan falling onto a concrete floor. Crash, for example, a big, solid, heavy object falling onto a hard floor. Hiss, for example, gas or steam escaping through a small hole. Hum, for example, an electrical appliance when switched on, like a computer or freezer. Rattle, for example, small stones in a tin being shaken. Ring, for example, a small bell or a telephone. Roar, for example, the noise of heavy traffic or a huge waterfall. Rumble, for example, distant noise of thunder or traffic far away. Rustle, for example, opening a paper or plastic bag or dry leaves underfoot. Screech, for example, a car's tires when the brakes are suddenly applied. Thud, for example, a heavy object falling onto a carpeted floor. Darkness. Now let us look at some adjectives for dark conditions. These brown walls are a bit gloomy. They are dark and depressing. We should paint them white. This torch is getting a bit dim. It is not very bright. It needs new batteries. It was a somber room with dark, heavy curtains. Somber means serious and imposing. Types of light. Finally, let us look at different types of light and the verbs that describe them. A torch gives out a beam of light, a narrow stream of light. A diamond ring sparkles. It shines with bright, quick flashes of light. A camera gives a flash of light, a sudden, brief burst of light. Stars twinkle. They shine with a flickering light. A candle flame flickers in the breeze. It moves and shines unevenly. White-hot coal on a fire glows. It shines with a steady, warm light. The sun shines and gives out rays of light, beams of light. A gold object glitters. It shines with a bright, reflected light. Language help. Many of the words relating to darkness and light can also be used about people's expressions. Light suggests happiness, and darkness suggests unhappiness. For example, Kate's face was glowing with pleasure. This means she looked very happy. Dan looks very gloomy. He looks sad or depressed. Has he had some bad news? So, that is our lesson on sound and light. These words and expressions will help you describe what you hear and see, and even people's moods, with greater vividness and precision.